Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has silenced every distraction for this exact moment. You are not here by accident. You are standing in divine orchestration. You have been marked since the beginning, handpicked for a destiny that shakes nations. There is a voice rising within you, one you've tried to silence before, one that whispers, "You were made for more." You've felt it, haven't you? That ache in your spirit when mediocrity tries to chain you down, that restlessness that won't let you settle for ordinary. That's not anxiety. That's divine calling. Heaven has been watching the way you endure every sleepless night, every tear you thought nobody saw. God did. And now the time has come for awakening. You are about to rise from the ashes of everything that tried to bury you. The disappointments, the rejections, the betrayals, they were never sent to destroy you. They were sent to reveal you. The fire was not meant to consume you. It was meant to refine the gold hidden inside you. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was divine preparation. There comes a point in every chosen one's journey where God breaks the silence and says, "Enough hiding." That moment is now. You are stepping out of obscurity into divine visibility. You are entering the season where God begins to unveil the purpose that has been maturing quietly inside your spirit. Heaven is saying your waiting was not wasted. You thought you were being forgotten, but in truth you were being trained. You were not abandoned, you were being anointed. The wilderness was your classroom. The loneliness was your purification. And now, your name is being whispered in rooms you have never stepped into. People you've never met are being assigned to help carry your purpose forward. Look back at your life, can you see it now? Every closed door was divine redirection. Every no from man was a not yet from God. And every tear was counted. Nothing was random. The pain had purpose. The silence had structure. You were being sculpted for something larger than life itself. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Isaiah, chapter 60 on to verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." That light is not an external one, it's within you. The glory that rises upon you is heaven's signature saying, "This one belongs to me." You are not called to blend in. You are called to stand out. There's a radiance forming around your spirit that darkness cannot extinguish. You are stepping into the revelation that you are light in a world starved for direction. Every gift inside you, every dream that refused to die, it's all about to activate. You may not have the resources yet, but you have the source. And when the source moves, lack loses its power. You are standing at the dawn of divine reversal. The tables are turning. What once mocked you will soon marvel at you. But before the abundance manifests, your mindset must shift. The old identity cannot carry the new anointing. You must shed the skin of fear and wear the robe of faith. Stop calling yourself broken. Stop calling yourself unworthy. God is saying, "You are my chosen vessel, designed for dominion." The days of merely surviving are over. The hour of thriving begins. You are not called to chase blessings, you are called to become the blessing. When your alignment matches heaven's assignment, provision flows like a river. You are about to witness divine acceleration, open doors, supernatural favor, opportunities that defy logic. The enemy tried to convince you that you were behind. But God says, you are right on schedule. Every delay positioned you perfectly. Every failure prepared your faith. You are being elevated not by man's approval, but by divine appointment. Chosen one, this is your awakening. The billionaire journey is not about vanity, it's about victory. It's about building what God places in your hands and multiplying it for His glory. This is where the story begins, from nothing to abundance. If this word has stirred your spirit, do not scroll away. This is your confirmation, not coincidence. Heaven is inviting you to walk in faith, to rise in purpose, to take your place among the anointed. Now lift your head. Feel the shift around you. You are stepping out of the shadow into the spotlight of destiny. And when you do, you will never be the same again. Comment below the prophetic number 777 as a sign that you are ready to walk in your divine abundance. Like, share, and subscribe, because your billionaire journey begins now. Chosen one, let your spirit remember this moment. Heaven is recording your yes. Every time you choose faith over fear, you move closer to the abundance already written in your story. Stand tall. This is not the end. This is ignition. The heavens celebrate your awakening, and the earth will soon witness the evidence of your divine elevation. Chosen one, you have reached the breaking point, the place where the old life begins to collapse so the true one can emerge. Do not despise this pressure. Heaven allows the weight not to crush you, but to awaken the sleeping power inside you. Every storm you have endured was a divine chiseling, sculpting you into someone unshakable. You remember the nights you couldn't see a way forward. You counted every coin, every tear, wondering how much longer you could keep pretending to be strong. But even in that hidden place of despair, God was building you. The shaking you felt was not destruction, it was construction. He was rearranging your foundation so that abundance could stand upon it. Every betrayal, every rejection, every unanswered prayer, each one was a seed of strength. People walked away thinking they were leaving you broken, but they were releasing you into destiny. You see, when everything familiar falls apart, only truth remains. The truth that you were never sustained by them, you were sustained by grace. Your breaking point was the birthing room of purpose. When you thought it was over, heaven whispered, "Now we begin." The pain that once felt unbearable has become the proof that you are chosen. Ordinary lives break and scatter, but chosen lives break and multiply. You are not shattered to be ruined. You are shattered to be remade into something divine. Scripture says in the book of Job, chapter 13, verse 15, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." This is the heartbeat of the chosen one, to trust when nothing makes sense, to believe when every evidence screams against belief. Faith is not built in comfort, it is forged in contradiction. When the promise and your reality do not agree, heaven watches which one you will choose to believe. And you, chosen one, have chosen faith. You kept showing up even when the doors stayed closed. You prayed even when the heavens felt silent. You gave even when your hands were empty. You refused to surrender to despair. And that refusal has been noticed in the courts of heaven. Now God begins to gather the fragments of your broken seasons. The scattered pieces you thought were useless are being rearranged into a masterpiece. What you lost in tears, you will recover in testimony. The very pain that humbled you will become the platform that elevates you. Do not try to rush the process. Growth never happens in noise, it happens in silence, in the secret wrestling between you and God. The breaking point is sacred because it strips away illusions. It makes you realize that no amount of human validation could ever compare to divine affirmation. You are learning to be whole in Him, not in applause. There is a mystery hidden in the breaking. It reveals your real strength. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are born in pressure, darkness, and time. So too are you. What looks like a setback is heaven's training ground for dominion. God is preparing you to handle abundance without being corrupted by it. He has been testing your heart. Can you remain faithful when no one claps for you? Can you give glory when no one sees the battle behind your smile? Because if you can, You are ready for elevation. The throne belongs only to those who have survived the fire without losing their worship. Chosen one, your pain has been prophetic. The very things that tried to destroy you became the tools heaven used to rebuild you. Every disappointment was a divine appointment in disguise. Every heartbreak, a hidden invitation to deeper intimacy with the one who never leaves. You are now entering a sacred transition, the crossing from surviving to thriving. The ashes of your past are becoming the soil for your abundance. What once broke you will now bless you. You are walking out of the wilderness carrying wisdom that money cannot buy. Do not despise the days of breaking. They are the proof of your authenticity. Anyone can praise when everything works, but the chosen praise in the ruins. And when they do, heaven responds with resurrection power. The same God who watched you fall will now cause you to rise in full glory. Remember this before abundance. There is always breaking before the crown. There is always crushing. The breaking point is heaven's way of ensuring you never forget who the real source is. You had to lose the illusion of control so you could gain the reality of faith. And now, your spirit stands taller. You are not who you were before the storm. You have been refined by fire, strengthened by loss, and anchored by trust. You carry scars, yes, but they shine like medals of victory. You have learned the sacred truth that pain is never wasted when it is surrendered to purpose. So lift your head, chosen one. You have passed the test of the breaking. The next chapter of your journey will not be defined by tears but by transformation. Heaven has seen your endurance, and the reward is already in motion. Your breaking has birthed your becoming, and the world will soon witness the glory that rises from your scars. Chosen one, every divine journey has a moment of disruption, a sacred interruption where heaven tears apart your comfort zone so you can see your true capacity. You may think life is falling apart, but in truth, it is falling into place. When God removes what you thought you needed, it's because He is making room for what He ordained from the beginning. There was a time you thought rejection was punishment. You cried, you begged for doors to open, but heaven stayed silent. Yet behind that silence, something divine was forming. You see, when you are chosen, rejection becomes protection. God will close the door not to punish you, but to redirect you toward your divine blueprint. At first, you resist the disruption. You ask, why me? But what you don't see is that heaven only disturbs what it intends to develop. When the nest becomes uncomfortable, and it's because the eagle is ready to fly. And you, chosen one, are being prepared to soar beyond every limitation. People may not understand the shift happening within you. They might say you've changed. They're right, you have. You're shedding the layers of who you were told to be, so you can become who you were born to be. God is removing what's temporary to make space for what's eternal. The Word of God declares in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him." You may not see the good yet, but trust that it's hidden within the chaos, on the betrayal, the delay, the loss. It's all being woven into your destiny's design. The storm that scared you is the same one that carried you to the shore of purpose. Chosen one, divine disruption always feels like disaster before it reveals itself as destiny. You're walking through a season where everything familiar is being rearranged. The friends who once fit your circle no longer match your frequency. The environments that once felt comfortable now feel suffocating. This isn't loss, it's elevation. Do not cling to what God is trying to release. When He removes something, He is not subtracting from you, He is multiplying you. You're being upgraded, refined, expanded, and you can't receive what's next while your hands are still holding what's gone. Sometimes, the very thing you prayed for requires the loss of what you thought you couldn't live without. Divine disruption tears away false security so you can learn that peace doesn't come from things, it comes from trust. The chosen are called to walk by faith, not by sight, and that means praising God even while everything is shaking. So if your plans are collapsing, if your path feels uncertain, understand this: heaven has stepped in. God is rewriting your story. Not because you failed, but because He's aligning you with something far greater than you imagined. This is the sacred chaos before creation, the void before the miracle. Every chosen one must pass through this furnace. There is no abundance without surrender. You cannot hold on to control and still expect divine flow. You must let go of the how and trust the who. You must believe that even in confusion, heaven is orchestrating perfection. Chosen one, don't curse the shaking, thank God for it. The shaking is proof that you've outgrown where you are. When a seed breaks open, it looks like destruction, but it's actually new life bursting forth. You are that seed, breaking so that purpose can bloom. What you call instability is really invitation. God is not removing the foundation, He's rebuilding it on truth. Every failed plan, every closed door, every unanswered prayer was a divine setup for your next elevation. When the pieces don't make sense, that's when heaven is nearest. The world may look at your current state and see failure, but heaven sees formation. You are being shaped into a vessel that can carry abundance without losing reverence. You are being positioned for influence that glorifies God, not self. You're learning to trust divine timing, even when it rewrites your entire script. And when the dust settles, you'll look back and see that every disruption was divine construction. The very storm that broke your routine built your resilience. The losses that left you empty prepared the space for overflow. You will testify that the hand of God was in every detail, even the painful ones. So now, breathe. Let go of the urge to control. Stop mourning what was. Start expecting what will be. The disruption isn't your ending, it's your awakening. Comment "I trust God" below. Declare it not as mere words, but as a covenant. When you write it, you align your heart with heaven's rhythm, saying, even in uncertainty, I choose faith. Let that be your stand today, for trust is the bridge that carries you from disruption to destiny. When you type "I trust God," you're not just commenting, you're declaring alignment. You're saying, even when I don't understand, I still believe His plan is perfect for me. Chosen one, inside you there is a battlefield. No one sees a quiet war between fear and faith. It doesn't rage with noise, but it shapes every decision, every hesitation, every step you take. The inner war is not a sign of weakness, it is proof of awakening. Only those marked for greatness experience such intensity within. You felt that tug of war, one voice whispering, you can't do it, while another insists, you were born for this. It's a spiritual clash between what was and what will be. The closer you move toward your purpose, the louder the resistance becomes. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't threatening, he fights what carries divine potential. Fear is the language of limitation, but faith speaks in eternity. Every time you choose faith, the walls of fear begin to crumble. The truth is, fear never leaves, it just loses authority. It tries to disguise itself as logic, caution, even humility. But deep down, you know when fear is holding the pen of your destiny. You've allowed fear to delay you before. It convinced you to wait until the right time, until you had more money, more confidence, more clarity. Yet faith is never about having all the answers, it's about moving while trusting that God already wrote them. You don't need to see the full staircase, you just need to take the first step. The apostle reminds us in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Fear is not your inheritance, it's an intruder. It entered through the cracks of disappointment and rejection, but it cannot stay where revelation dwells. Every time you remember who you are in God, fear loses its home. You were born with divine DNA, built with spiritual resilience. The Creator did not design you to cower before storms, but to command them into peace. The war inside you is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to discipline you. It trains you to recognize heaven's voice amid the chaos. Faith sharpens your vision, while fear blurs it. The more you feed your faith, the weaker fear becomes. What you focus on, you empower. Chosen one, fear often hides behind comfort. It whispers that safety is wisdom, that risk is recklessness. But faith speaks differently. It tells you that obedience sometimes looks dangerous because it leads to miracles. Peter never would have walked on water if he hadn't stepped out of the boat. You, too, are being called to step out of doubt, out of hesitation, out of the version of yourself that plays small. There are moments when faith feels fragile, like a flickering flame in the wind. Yet even a flicker is enough for God to ignite a blaze. You do not need unshakable faith, you just need willing faith. The courage to say, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. That honesty moves heaven. The inner war also reveals the hidden idols of control. You want assurance, clarity, stability, but true faith thrives in surrender. The miracle happens not when you understand, but when you release. You can't hold on to both faith and control. One must bow to the other. Faith says, even if it looks impossible, I will trust the one who called me. Do you realize that every giant you face outside begins as a fear you conquer inside? That's why God addresses the heart before the harvest. Until you master your emotions, abundance would overwhelm you. The battlefield of the mind must be won before the battlefield of destiny can be claimed. You're learning now to fight differently, not with panic, but with peace. Faith doesn't shout louder, it stands firmer. It doesn't deny reality. It redefines it through the lens of promise. Every time fear tells you, what if it fails? Faith replies, what if it flies? Chosen one. The enemy cannot take what you refuse to surrender. When he whispers lies, answer with truth. When he reminds you of your past, remind him of your future. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the steward of your spirit. The more you anchor yourself in God's word, the more your inner storms obey his peace. This war inside will not last forever. It is the refining stage before revelation. You are being strengthened to carry weighty blessings with unshakable composure. You are learning to respond, not react, to stand, not shrink. And one day soon, you will look back and realize the battle was never between you and fear. It was between your calling and your comfort. Now peace begins to settle where panic once lived. The war quiets not because the world changes, but because you've learned to silence the lies with truth, to replace anxiety with authority. You are stepping into a version of yourself that leads with faith and lives with power. The inner war was not your undoing, it was your awakening. And now, every time fear knocks, faith will answer the door. Chosen one, you have reached the place where heaven begins to unveil the blueprint of your destiny. The fog is lifting, and what once seemed random now reveals divine design. You are beginning to understand that your calling is not merely survival, it is creation. God is not only restoring what you lost, He is building something brand new through you. Your journey was never about chasing money or status. It was always about discovering purpose. The true blueprint of destiny is drawn with obedience, discipline, and divine wisdom. What you are stepping into is not ordinary success. It is sacred stewardship. Heaven does not simply bless you for you to enjoy. It blesses you so that you can build, give, and multiply light. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, "Write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run who reads it." God is giving you a vision that outlives comfort. You are called to design systems that bring hope, to build structures that heal communities, to create movements that point people back to truth. Every idea you've ever had, every dream that wouldn't die, is part of this blueprint. It is not by accident that you feel drawn toward greatness. Heaven placed it there as a map for your mission. But for a vision to live, it must be written, protected, and nourished. God gives blueprints, but He entrusts the building to the faithful. This means you must be intentional with what's in your hands. Every thought you steward, every opportunity you recognize, every act of generosity you perform becomes a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Chosen one. Your destiny requires clarity. It begins when you sit with God in silence and ask, "What do you want to build through me?" Maybe it's a business that blesses others, maybe a movement that restores lives, or maybe a voice that brings peace to broken souls. The blueprint is different for each chosen vessel, but the purpose is the same: to glorify the giver through the gift. You've already walked through the fire of refinement, through loss, through loneliness, through hidden preparation. And now, heaven begins to whisper it's time to build. The divine architect has placed his hands upon yours. Every skill you have, every lesson you've learned, is part of the design. But remember this: no blueprint from heaven can be built alone. Even the strongest structures need supporting beams. God designed community as part of destiny. You are not meant to carry the vision by yourself. You are surrounded by those who believe, those who build, and those who will rise with you. If this message has stirred something in your heart, if it has brought light to your path, then know that you are part of this divine construction. The words you hear are not mere sounds, they are tools building hope in countless lives. Every time you engage, every time you share, every time you support, you help expand this blueprint across the earth. So if this voice has ever given you strength on a weary day, or reminded you that you're chosen when you felt forgotten, I invite you freely and without pressure to take part in the building. Just as a single drop helps fill an ocean, every act of kindness, every seed of generosity helps keep the light burning for others who need it most. Your support, in whatever form it takes, whether through liking, sharing, subscribing, or even donating as your heart feels led, becomes like a small flame placed upon a mountain, guiding others through their own darkness. You are not funding noise, you are fueling light. You are helping a message reach someone who is praying for a sign right now. Like to anchor the word deeper in your spirit. Share as if passing a torch across a valley. Subscribe to stay aligned with every new whisper heaven releases through this space. And if you ever feel moved to donate, see it not as giving away, but as planting a tree under whose shade another soul will rest. Nothing you give is ever lost. Whether it's your time, your prayers, or your resources, every offering echoes back multiplied in meaning. Because when love fuels giving, heaven breathes on it. There is no demand here, only invitation. No obligation, only opportunity. You are never giving to something. You are giving through something into the hands of purpose. So, beloved chosen one, keep walking with faith. Keep writing your vision. Keep listening for heaven's instructions. You are not just a dreamer, you are a builder of destiny. And as you build, remember your heart is the true foundation. If this message has touched you, take the next step as your heart leads like the gentle wind feeding a flame. Your single act of support keeps this fire of hope alive. And remember, chosen one, every ripple of kindness you release, every share, every seed, every word of faith returns as waves of blessing. What you build in love, heaven multiplies in eternity. Chosen one, before the abundance flows, there is always a price to becoming. Every destiny demands development. Every elevation demands endurance. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. God never promotes without proving, never releases abundance into unready hands. What you feel as pressure is simply heaven testing your capacity to carry blessing. Do not resent the small beginnings. The path to overflow is paved with stewardship of the little. You must learn to be faithful in silence before you are trusted with influence. Every closed door, every lonely night, every hidden season was shaping your character, stretching your patience, and refining your heart. As it was written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. To whom much is given, much will be required. Chosen one. That requirement is not punishment, it's privilege. God is trusting you with something eternal, something that cannot be built on shortcuts or shallow motives. You are being called to handle wealth not as a possession, but as a weapon of purpose to heal, to build, to bless, to transform. That is why the process hurts. You are being fitted for greatness. The refining fire is not rejection, it's qualification. When gold is heated, the impurities rise to the surface. So it is with you. Every trial, every disappointment, every betrayal was bringing hidden weaknesses to light, not to shame you, but to cleanse you. You are learning to live from purity, to act from conviction, to give from love. Sometimes you may ask, why must the journey be so hard? The answer is simple, because what is easy rarely lasts. God is constructing a foundation so deep that no storm can shake it. He is ensuring that when the flood of abundance arrives, your spirit won't drown in pride or forget the source of it all. You are in the season of pruning where things, habits, and even people that no longer align with your destiny fall away. It feels painful, but it is protection. A tree that refuses pruning produces leaves without fruit. Heaven prunes you so that your life can bear fruit that remains. The price of becoming often includes moments of isolation. Not everyone can walk with you into the next chapter. Some were meant only for your preparation, not your promotion. Do not chase what God has released. What leaves you now is simply clearing space for what's about to arrive. Chosen one. Remember, this obedience always precedes overflow. Every time you choose righteousness over convenience, you are storing unseen treasure. Each act of integrity is a seed. Each act of generosity is an investment in heaven's economy. When the time is right, that harvest will chase you down. There are times you will feel forgotten, but you are being hidden. Hidden is not the same as overlooked, it is sacred protection. God hides his greatest works until they are ready to shine, just like a diamond forms in the dark. So your destiny is developing where no one can see. You are learning to live beyond emotions. Feelings may scream quit, but faith whispers continue. Your progress is not measured by applause, but by alignment. Even in silence, heaven is watching your consistency. The test is not about what you can produce, but about who you become in the process. Chosen one, becoming is never instant, it's layered. Each challenge teaches endurance. Each delay strengthens discernment. The more you mature, the clearer you recognize that true abundance begins within. You are learning that peace is the first currency of the kingdom, and gratitude is its exchange rate. When you finally step into abundance, you will look back and thank God for every refining moment, because you will see it clearly. None of it was wasted. Every season was preparation for purpose. Every struggle was a stone in the staircase leading to your calling. So take heart. You are not behind. You are in process. Heaven's hand is steady even when the fire feels fierce. You are becoming the kind of vessel that can hold miracles without spilling them. And when that abundance comes, and it will not break you. It will simply reveal what you were always meant to be, a reflection of divine stewardship, a channel of overflowing grace. Now, chosen one, if your spirit feels this truth, seal it with a prophetic act. Comment the number 444 below. This is not superstition, it is symbolism. 4 is the number of foundation, the stability, and divine order. When you write 444, you are declaring, I am ready to be established, refined, and trusted with more. Let heaven and earth bear witness your becoming is blessed, and your foundation is strong. The number 4444 carries the whisper of divine alignment. It means heaven is laying bricks beneath your feet, foundations you cannot yet see. You are being rooted in purpose, not shaken by pressure. Each 4 represents a pillar: faith, focus, fortitude, and fruitfulness. When you type it, you declare balance and stability over your journey. Heaven reads it as surrender and readiness to build. Chosen one. There comes a sacred moment when heaven grows silent, not because God has left you, but because He wants to see if you still trust Him without the noise. This is the wilderness season, the testing ground of every chosen one. It is where faith must learn to walk without sight, where conviction replaces confirmation. You may look around and see stillness everywhere. Prayers seem unanswered, opportunities delayed, signs absent. But silence is not absence. It is divine observation. God is watching what you do when you cannot feel Him, when the thrill of revelation fades and the routine of faith begins. In this silence, you learn that God is not always a voice in the thunder. Sometimes He hides in the whisper, in the quiet conviction that remains after tears have dried. The wilderness strips away distractions, revealing what your soul truly depends on. If your faith only stands when you feel Him, it is emotion, but if it stands when He feels distant, it becomes devotion. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not weakness, it is mastery. It takes strength to remain calm when nothing moves, to remain faithful when nothing changes. The wilderness is heaven's classroom, and silence is its teacher. You learn that spiritual maturity is not measured by how loudly you praise, but by how deeply you trust. Chosen one, in this quiet season, heaven observes your reactions more than your results. When doors close, will you complain or continue when promises delay? Will you give up or grow up? God hides His presence not to hurt you, but to heal your dependency on feelings. He is teaching you to recognize Him not just in miracles, but in the mundane. There are lessons only silence can teach. It trains you to hear the faint movements of grace, to discern between emotion and instruction. You begin to understand that God's love doesn't always feel like warmth. Sometimes it feels like discipline. But both are love in disguise. The wilderness is also the place of purification. When noise ceases, your motives surface. You start to see whether your prayers were born from faith or fear, from desire for Him or desire for results. God allows the silence to refine your intentions, to prepare your heart for the weight of glory coming next. You may feel like you're stuck, but you're being shaped. The seed in the soil doesn't grow in the sunlight. First, it grows in the dark. Likewise, you are developing in hiddenness. Heaven is planting strength where insecurity once lived, wisdom where impatience once ruled. In this season, solitude becomes sacred. You start to appreciate the beauty of quiet mornings, the healing in simple prayers, the power of just breathing and believing. You no longer chase constant signs, you rest in silent assurance. That is spiritual maturity, trusting that even when you can't trace His hand, His heart still guides you. Chosen one, remember that silence often precedes revelation. When heaven pauses, it's because the next word will shift everything. God is not ignoring you. He is aligning you. He is preparing divine timing behind the scenes. The stillness is strategy. Every delay has design. This season also exposes what voices have ruled your mind. When human noise fades, you finally hear the truth inside you, the gentle reminder that you were never alone. Even in stillness, angels walk beside you, unseen but active, preparing the path ahead. In the wilderness, God teaches the language of dependence. You stop striving for control and start leaning on grace. You learn to pray, "Lord, if all I have is you, that is enough." That prayer, whispered in quiet surrender, carries more power than 1,000 shouted pleas. Chosen one, silence can feel endless, but it always ends with revelation. One day, suddenly, the same God who seemed distant will speak again and everything will make sense. You will realize the wilderness was not punishment, it was preparation. It taught you to distinguish His presence from your perception. So when you find yourself surrounded by stillness, do not panic. Rest. Breathe. Let the quiet become your sanctuary. God is closest when you think He is silent, and His stillness often hides His strongest activity. In time, the silence will break not because you begged for it, but because you grew enough to handle what comes next. When the voice returns, you will recognize it instantly, not as something new, but as something familiar, something you've always known. The wilderness does not last forever. Its purpose is to make you unshakable. When the next wave of abundance comes, you'll no longer chase signs, you'll carry presence. You'll understand that silence was never emptiness. It was God breathing in secret, preparing to speak your next chapter aloud. Be still, chosen one. The quiet is not punishment, it's proof you are trusted with divine depth. The silence is heaven's way of saying, you're ready for revelation. Chosen one. Now you begin to understand the mystery of faith itself, the unseen currency of heaven. Faith is not mere belief, it is divine transaction. It is the invisible exchange between your obedience and God's overflowing response. When you move in faith, heaven moves in favor. Every act of trust, no matter how small, releases power beyond what eyes can see. Faith is not emotion, it is alignment. It is not wishing, it is working with heaven's design. Each time you choose to act in obedience instead of fear, you participate in a spiritual economy that never fails. The world trades in silver and gold, but heaven trades in trust and surrender. What you plant in faith always returns as harvest, though not always in the form you expect. You've been sowing in secret acts of kindness, prayers whispered in the dark, obedience that cost you comfort. You thought no one noticed, but heaven has recorded every seed. Every tear that fell while you chose to obey rather than complain became water for your future fruitfulness. Nothing is ever lost in the kingdom. Every sacrifice is an investment in divine return. The apostle wrote in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 6. Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. This is not about money alone, it's about mentality. Faith is generous because it knows the source is endless. The more you release, the more heaven can refill. Those who cling tightly to their fear of lack end up living small. But those who trust God with open hands discover that their lives overflow. Chosen one, faith transactions are not one-time events, they are daily exchanges. When you forgive instead of retaliate, you are making a deposit. When you speak hope instead of despair, you are multiplying spiritual currency. Every decision to believe in what God said, even when circumstances scream otherwise, becomes a divine investment. You must learn to see beyond the visible. The world trains you to measure worth by what can be counted. Heaven measures by what can be trusted. Faith gives you access to realities others cannot see. You speak abundance while standing in lack, not because you are pretending, but because you recognize that heaven's promises outweigh earthly facts. When God asks you to step out in faith, He is not testing your ability to succeed. He is testing your willingness to trust. He already knows the outcome. He just wants to know if you will walk even when the path is invisible. Faith is not blind. It simply sees from a higher altitude. There will be moments when faith feels risky, when obedience looks illogical. That is when the greatest miracles are born. Remember, Peter had to step into waves before they turned solid beneath his feet. Abraham had to leave his homeland before God showed him the promise. Faith always precedes proof. Chosen one, your life is becoming a divine transaction itself, a continual exchange of trust for transformation. The more you obey, the more heaven can release. You are learning that faith is not about getting what you want, but becoming who you were created to be. Each test refines you, each leap stretches you, and each sacrifice deepens your connection with the source. You are part of a kingdom that never runs dry. In heaven's economy, giving is not loss, it's multiplication. When you pour out love, peace flows back. When you pour out forgiveness, freedom floods in. You never end up with less. You end up with more of what truly matters. There will come a day when you see the pattern clearly, the way every act of obedience opened doors you didn't even know existed. You will trace the miracles back to the moments you refused to give up, the days you chose faith over fear, generosity over greed, trust over doubt. You are not waiting for blessings to fall from the sky. You are activating them with every faithful choice you make. Heaven does not respond to need. It responds to belief. Faith is the key that unlocks the vault of abundance. When you operate in that truth, lack loses authority over your life. And when the harvest arrives, and it will come quietly, as if it had always been there. You will see that your obedience built invisible roots, and now those roots bear visible fruit. People will look at you and call it sudden success, but you will know it was steady faith. Chosen one, never underestimate what your faith can do. Even when you see no sign, the transaction is in motion. The seed is already sprouting underground. Keep walking, keep believing, keep acting as if the promise is already fulfilled, because in heaven's record, it is. You are the evidence that faith works, that trust transforms, that obedience produces abundance. This is how you live now, not by sight, but by divine transaction. You give heaven your trust, and heaven gives you everything you need for the journey ahead. Chosen one, there comes a moment when you must confront the shadow that has followed generations before you, the curse of lack. It is not just poverty of money. It is poverty of belief, of self-worth, of divine vision. This curse hides in phrases like, I can't, I'm not enough, people like me never prospers, and it disguises itself as humility. But in truth, it is fear wearing the mask of tradition. You have been called to break it. Heaven has chosen you to stop the cycle where it has long ruled. What your ancestors endured in scarcity, you will overcome in abundance. The chains that held your family line in financial fear, mental limitation, and spiritual smallness are being shattered through your obedience. You are not meant to inherit their limitations. You are meant to redeem their legacy. You stand as the divine interruption, the one who says, "It ends with me." The curse of lack is not stronger than the covenant of abundance written over your life. But to step into that truth, you must change what you believe about yourself and about God. The Word of God reminds us in the letter to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 19. "My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus." Chosen one. This is not poetry, it is law in heaven's economy. Lack has no legal right to your life once you understand who your provider truly is. You were never designed to scrape by. You were designed to steward overflow. Abundance is not greed, it is grace multiplied so that you can give freely without fear. Breaking the curse begins in the mind. Every time you say, "I can't afford that," you teach your spirit that scarcity rules. But when you declare, "God will provide," you activate a different frequency, one that aligns with divine provision. Heaven responds to faith-filled language. You must speak what you want to see. Do not confuse wealth with wickedness. The enemy has convinced many that holiness and abundance cannot coexist. But righteousness and resource were never enemies. They were meant to walk hand in hand, for generosity requires supply. God does not bless you so you can boast, he blesses you so you can bless others. The curse of lack also thrives on comparison. It whispers, "Look at them, they have more than you." But true abundance is not measured by numbers. It is measured by peace. There are millionaires with empty hearts and people with little who overflow with joy. God is not interested in what's in your bank account as much as what's in your belief system. You break the curse when you stop chasing money and start attracting purpose. When you align with purpose, provision follows naturally. Doors open. Opportunities find you. People begin to invest in your vision because heaven has already stamped it with approval. Chosen one. Breaking the curse also means forgiving those who taught you fear. Many of them didn't mean harm, they were only passing down survival habits from their own pain. But now you know better. You've been given new knowledge, and with knowledge comes power. The power to choose faith over fear, generosity over greed, abundance over anxiety. You are called to shift your lineage from survival to success, from begging to building, from lack to legacy. You are the bridge between the old and the new, the one who transforms generational struggle into generational strength. The curse ends when you begin to see money not as master but as servant. When you stop serving it and command it to serve purpose, heaven smiles. Finances are not meant to rule you. They are meant to follow you. You are the magnet now, and abundance is drawn to the light you carry. So start speaking differently, expect differently, live differently. Let your posture reflect the truth that your Father owns it all. When you carry that awareness, you walk in peace, even before the promise manifests. And when the enemy tries to remind you of your past lack, remind him of your current covenant. Say aloud, "I am not cursed, I am called, because you are." You are chosen to manifest divine provision in a world that worships scarcity. If this word echoes inside you, let your spirit affirm it. Comment, "I break lack" below. When you write it, you're not typing letters, you're striking a blow in the unseen realm. You're declaring to every generational chain, "My family will know abundance, my children will inherit peace, and my legacy will overflow." Let that be your declaration of freedom today. When you comment, "I break lack," you're not just typing words, you're drawing a sword in the spirit. You're declaring that every invisible limitation bows to divine provision, and that your household will live beneath heaven's open hand, not earth's restrictions. Each word is prophetic. I, the chosen vessel, break with heaven's authority, lack the lie of insufficiency. Together they form a covenant statement. By writing it, you agree with abundance, realign your energy with divine flow, and invite supernatural stability into your life. Chosen one, now you are being invited to understand the rhythm of heaven's economy, a system not bound by markets or money, but by the law of divine flow. The world teaches accumulation. Heaven teaches circulation. What you release in faith returns multiplied. What you hoard in fear decays in silence. Heaven's economy is not measured in dollars, it is measured in trust. The hand that gives becomes the hand that receives. The stream that keeps flowing never dries, just as rivers never drink their own water. You are not meant to keep every blessing, but to let it pass through you, refreshing others, cleansing your own soul, and sustaining the divine current. The word of the Lord speaks clearly in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38. Give, and it will be given to you a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not a transaction, it's transformation. The act of giving expands your capacity to receive. When you release with a pure heart, you invite heaven's abundance to pour back, not only through finances, but through favor, peace, and purpose. The hand that opens to give is the same hand heaven fills. Chosen one, you are being called to live in flow, not in fear. Think of a tree. Its roots reach deep into unseen soil, yet it never worries about rain. It gives shade to the weary and fruit to the hungry, and in doing so, it continues to grow stronger. The same is true of you. When you share, you expand. When you bless, you bloom. Many hold tightly to what they have, thinking it ensures safety. But a closed fist can't receive new seeds. A heart that clings to control cannot hold miracles. God is inviting you to open your hands, not in loss, but in trust. What you release becomes the bridge for heaven's next blessing. Your acts of generosity, your kindness, your prayers, your time, your support are all part of the divine circulation of abundance. When you help someone else rise, you elevate yourself. When you bless another's path, God brightens yours. The kingdom grows through hearts that understand giving is not subtraction, it's sacred multiplication. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. Heaven's economy moves through people. Every voice that speaks hope, every message that uplifts, every act that restores light in darkness, it all depends on vessels willing to carry and share it. You are part of that movement. If this voice has ever spoken peace to your storm, ever reminded you that you're chosen when you felt forgotten, consider how many others may need to hear it too. Somewhere, someone is scrolling through the dark night of their soul, waiting for a word that will lift them again. When you share, you become the bridge through which hope travels. And if this message stirs something deeper, something that whispers, "I want to help keep this fire burning," then follow that gentle nudge. There is no pressure, no demand, only invitation. Like this message if it resonates within you. Share it as if you were passing a candle in a midnight room, one light awakening another. Subscribe to stay connected, so that the next wave of heaven's wisdom finds you on time. And if your heart ever leads you to donate, do it as one plants a seed in sacred soil. You're not funding words, you're feeding souls. Think of your giving as dropping a pebble into still water. The ripples travel far beyond what you can see, touching lives you'll never meet but heaven will record. Generosity is not about wealth, it's about willingness. It's not about how much you give, but how much love you pour into the giving. Whether it's a share, a word of encouragement, or a seed of financial support, every gesture carries eternal weight. You are not required to give. You are invited to participate in a miracle, to join the current that keeps hope flowing through countless hearts. Every yes whispered from faith, every amen spoken in secret, becomes a part of something larger than any one person, a movement of light across the earth. Remember, Dumbit, even oceans are made of countless drops. Your drop matters. Your presence matters. Your choice to engage, to like, to share, to subscribe, to give builds something far greater than a platform. It builds a sanctuary of voices echoing the truth. Abundance belongs to those who trust the giver. Chosen one. Heaven keeps perfect accounts. Nothing you release in love goes unnoticed. The harvest may not appear overnight, but it is already unfolding beneath the surface. One day, when you least expect it, provision will meet you like an old friend who never forgot your faith. So walk freely, give joyfully, and trust deeply. You are not fueling a system, you are sowing into souls. Your every action, every bit of kindness, every seed of generosity is a note in heaven's eternal symphony of abundance. If this word has touched you, act as your heart leads, like wind feeding a flame. Your small gesture keeps the fire alive for someone still walking through the dark. Chosen one. When heaven begins to align your life, it feels as though invisible threads start weaving everything together. The people you meet, the places you step into, the timing of every moment all begin to synchronize beyond logic. This is the power of alignment, where divine order replaces human effort. What once felt like chaos suddenly reveals perfect choreography. For so long, you've tried to make things happen by force, pushing doors open, chasing opportunities, exhausting yourself trying to fit where you didn't belong. But alignment is different. It's not about striving, it's about positioning. It's the moment you stop running in circles and start moving with heaven's current. When you are aligned, peace becomes your compass. You stop begging for direction and start recognizing divine confirmation in everyday details. A conversation that seems ordinary becomes a key. A delay that frustrates you becomes protection. What used to confuse you now begins to make sense, because alignment reveals purpose in every pause. As it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9, 2 are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. Chosen one. This verse doesn't speak only of companionship, it speaks of divine synergy. God never designed you to walk alone. Alignment means being connected to the right people at the right time for the right purpose. It's when heaven introduces you to destiny partners who carry pieces of your promise. Together, you form a design that none of you could build alone. Some people are seasonal, they teach you lessons, reveal parts of yourself, and then move on. Others are foundational, they're meant to build with you. Alignment helps you discern the difference. When you are aligned, you stop holding on to what has expired. You bless it, release it, and create space for what is next. There is a peace that comes from being where God wants you to be, doing what He has called you to do, surrounded by those who understand your assignment. That peace cannot be manufactured. It can only be received through surrender. Alignment often begins with separation. Before God sends the right people, He removes the wrong ones. Before He reveals your destiny circle, He clears your distractions. You may feel lonely in that in-between stage, but solitude is the soil of alignment. It allows heaven to reset your direction without interference. Chosen one, you are stepping into divine intersections, moments where purpose collides with opportunity. You will find yourself in places you didn't plan for but were prepared for. Conversations will open doors that resumes never could. It will look like coincidence, but it will be confirmation. When alignment happens, even delays work for you. What looked like wasted time becomes perfect timing. God delays not to deny, but to synchronize. You might think you are late, but heaven says you are right on time. The clock of destiny doesn't run by human schedules. It moves by divine readiness. Alignment is not always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper, an inner knowing, a quiet yes, a deep peace that says, "This is it." Learn to trust that inner resonance. It's the Holy Spirit's signal that you are in step with heaven's rhythm. You will also notice that when alignment begins, resistance often follows. The enemy hates order because he thrives in confusion. Don't mistake turbulence for misdirection. Often, opposition is confirmation that you've stepped onto the right path. Darkness fights hardest when light begins to organize chaos. In alignment, blessings no longer feel forced, they flow. Resources, ideas, and people start to appear naturally. You won't have to chase. What belongs to you will find you. Because alignment doesn't compete, it completes. Chosen one, divine alignment also demands discernment. Not everyone who claps for you is called to walk with you. Some doors open to distract, others open to direct. Stay sensitive to peace, it is heaven's navigation system. When something feels forced, pause. When something feels anchored in grace, proceed. You are now walking into a chapter where clarity replaces confusion. What once drained you will now fuel you. The relationships that pull you forward will outweigh the ones that held you back. You'll recognize divine connections not by excitement, but by peace. Soon, you'll look around and realize everything has been rearranged, not by your effort, but by divine orchestration. The people around you will not just like you. They will understand you. The opportunities before you will not just pay you. They will fulfill you. The path ahead will not just challenge you, it will complete you. Chosen one. Alignment is heaven's architecture at work. Every delay, every detour, every divine meeting has been measured to the second. You were never lost, only being redirected. Trust the timing, embrace the flow, and know that what is meant for you will never miss you. Walk forward now with confidence. The road ahead has been cleared. Every step is already accounted for. You are aligned with heaven's rhythm, and everything around you is adjusting to match your purpose. Chosen one. The season has arrived when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, the moment when the seed of faith matures into a garden of abundance. This is the mantle of multiplication, a divine empowerment that transforms everything you touch. It's not just about increase in wealth or opportunity, it's the expansion of purpose, influence, and grace. You are stepping into a flow where your life no longer adds, it multiplies. You may not feel qualified. You may look at what you have and think, it's too small. But remember, God never asks for what you don't have. He multiplies what you surrender. He took a boy's lunch and fed thousands. He took a widow's oil and filled every jar in the house. Heaven doesn't measure the size of your resource, but the sincerity of your release. As it was written in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 18. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth. Chosen one. Wealth is not limited to coins or accounts, it's the fullness of divine ability. It's the creativity in your mind, the compassion in your heart, the strength in your hands. When you understand that God Himself is the source, your confidence shifts. You stop saying, I can't, and begin declaring, "Through him, I can." The mantle of multiplication rests on those who dare to believe that small beginnings can birth great endings. It doesn't matter how empty your jar looks, the oil flows only when you start to pour. The act of faith activates the miracle. Heaven multiplies movement, not hesitation. Perhaps you've been faithful in silence, giving, serving, praying, creating, even when no one noticed. Heaven noticed. You've been proving your stewardship in the little things, and now the King is ready to trust you with more. The mantle descends not on the loud, but on the loyal. Multiplication is not luck. It's alignment with divine order. When your motives are pure, when your heart beats in rhythm with God's purpose, what you touch begins to expand. Ideas multiply, opportunities echo. What took years before will now happen in moments because heaven has removed resistance. But remember, this power carries responsibility. The mantle is not given for self-glory, but for service. God multiplies your reach so you can multiply relief. He expands your capacity so you can expand compassion. You are not called to keep it all. You are called to carry it all for others. Chosen one, look around your life. The relationships, the wisdom, the creativity, they are all seeds waiting for your yes. Heaven cannot multiply what you refuse to move. Just like the loaves in the master's hands, the miracle happens in motion. As you give, as you build, as you act, God stretches the impact beyond your imagination. The world calls it growth. Heaven calls it glory. When multiplication begins, you will not even understand how it's happening. You'll just see results you didn't plan for. Doors will open that no effort could unlock. Resources will appear without warning. People will show up with answers before you even knew the questions. That's what divine multiplication looks like, effortless increase born from faith-filled obedience. But take heed, the mantle cannot rest on a heart that forgets gratitude. Never let success make you forget the source. The same God who multiplies can also prune. Stay humble, stay generous, stay surrendered. Every time increase comes, let your first thought be worship, not worry. Chosen one, this is your season of overflow. The dream that once seemed too far is drawing near. The seed you planted in tears will soon speak in testimonies. And the mantle resting upon you will not fade, it will grow stronger with each act of obedience. Now seal this word in your spirit. Comment the prophetic number 333 below. 3 represents divine fullness, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, perfection in unity and creative power. When you write 333, you're declaring, I am aligned with heaven's order, and I carry the power to multiply what God entrusts to me. Let the earth witness what heaven already knows. Your hands are anointed to build, to bless, and to bring increase wherever they go. When you comment 333, you are not typing a number, you are declaring a covenant. You are saying, I align myself with the fullness of God's plan. I walk in harmony with divine order, and I am ready for heaven's multiplication. Each 3 symbolizes divine completeness. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The first 3 is creation, the second is resurrection, the third is manifestation. When joined together, they form a seal of power, creativity, and fruitfulness. It is heaven's reminder that what begins in faith will end in fulfillment. So as you type 333, see it as your signature on heaven's document of abundance. You are giving permission for the supernatural to touch your natural. You're declaring that your work, your vision, your resources, and your relationships will multiply not by might, not by luck, but by divine grace that never runs dry. Chosen one, even in the flow of favor, there is a force that tries to hold you back, the spirit of delay. It's subtle, cunning, and relentless. It doesn't destroy you outright, it simply slows you down, convinces you to wait just a little longer, and keeps your destiny in a state of almost ready, almost successful, almost free. Delay is not denial, but when left unchallenged, it becomes bondage. You've felt it before, the strange resistance when everything seems prepared yet nothing moves. The closed doors that don't make sense, the opportunities that slip through your fingers right when they seem certain. It feels like time itself has turned against you. But what you are fighting is not bad luck, it is spiritual interference designed to test your perseverance and refine your faith. As the prophet wrote in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. The vision awaits an appointed time. Though it lingers, wait for it, it will surely come. It will not delay. Heaven's timing is perfect. But the enemy of your purpose knows that weariness can kill destiny faster than failure. If he cannot defeat you, he will distract you. If he cannot stop you, he will slow you. Delay thrives on discouragement. It feeds on your frustration and grows through your doubt. That is why spiritual warfare is often fought in the waiting room. Chosen one, waiting is not wasting. The waiting season is not a punishment, it is divine preparation. God delays certain things because your maturity must match your miracle. The greater the promise, the deeper the process. What feels like a pause is actually alignment, heaven arranging circumstances, people, and resources for the perfect release. But the spirit of delay twists that truth into lies. It whispers, "You've missed your chance." It makes you doubt if you heard God correctly. It plants exhaustion in your soul until you start settling for less. Do not let that voice rewrite your faith. Delay is not the end of the story, it's the tension before breakthrough. Every chosen one must learn to wait well. Waiting well doesn't mean sitting still. It means staying faithful in motion. You continue to build, to pray, to grow, to serve. You act in obedience even when the outcome is invisible. This is how you defeat delay, not by frustration, but by consistency. The truth is, God often hides acceleration inside what looks like stillness. The seed grows underground before it breaks the surface. A caterpillar rests in darkness before wings appear. You are not standing still. You are being transformed beneath the surface of time. Sometimes God will even allow delay to protect you. If the blessing came too soon, you might mishandle it. If the door opened too early, you might walk through unprepared. Heaven's mercy sometimes wears the mask of waiting. What you perceive as late is often God's way of saving you from premature exposure. Chosen one, don't measure progress by motion. Measure it by transformation. Every prayer whispered in exhaustion, every act of endurance when you wanted to quit, every moment you chose faith over frustration, that's progress. Heaven counts those steps even when no one else sees them. And remember, this divine timing is never passive. When the appointed moment comes, God compresses years into seconds. Delayed seasons often produce accelerated blessings. What took others decades will take you days because your obedience bought you spiritual speed. So stop comparing your timeline to others. The journey of the chosen is custom-made. What's taking time is being built to last. You are not behind. You are being positioned for longevity. Delay does not mean forgotten, it means fortified. The spirit of delay cannot outlast divine persistence. Keep showing up. Keep believing, keep sowing. Every day you stay faithful, heaven pushes your miracle closer. Every sigh of endurance is counted as intercession. The delay cannot survive your discipline. One day soon, the waiting will end abruptly. The doors that resisted you will swing open without effort. The favor that once trickled will flood, and you will understand why it took this long, because God was not just preparing the blessing. He was preparing you to handle it. When that moment comes, there will be no bitterness, only gratitude. You will see that every pause carried purpose, every delay hid direction, and every disappointment disguised protection. When that moment comes, there will be no bitterness, only gratitude. You will see that every pause carried purpose, every delay hid direction, and every disappointment disguised protection. The very thing that once made you question God will become the evidence of His faithfulness. Chosen one, time is not your enemy, it is your ally. It is the instrument God uses to perfect what He promised. When heaven says, wait, it is not saying never. It is saying soon and better. And when soon becomes now, no power of darkness will be able to stop it. Rest in that truth. The delay is breaking, the tide is turning. The appointed time is already approaching, and when it comes, it will not tarry. Chosen one. Abundance is not sustained by talent, it is sustained by stewardship. The greater your increase, the more heaven examines how you handle it. For wealth without wisdom becomes a trap, and influence without humility becomes a fall. That is why before God crowns, He tests character. Before He entrusts abundance, He refines integrity. The crown of stewardship is not golden metal resting on your head, it is unseen authority resting on your heart. It is the grace to manage what you have been given without letting it master you. It is learning that ownership is an illusion and that you are not the source but the channel. True power flows through the hands that stay open, never clenched in control. As it is written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 2. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. Faithfulness is not proved in moments of glory, but in mundane consistency. How do you handle what is small, quiet, and unnoticed? Stewardship is choosing excellence even when no one applauds. It's doing the right thing when it's inconvenient. Heaven measures greatness not by visibility, but by responsibility. Chosen one. Many ask for increase, but few ask for instruction. You must learn the art of balance, how to receive without pride, to lead without domination, to give without seeking credit. Stewardship transforms blessing into legacy. It teaches you to multiply wisely, to use authority with compassion, and to govern your gifts with discipline. There is danger in abundance when the heart forgets its source. Wealth, success, or influence can easily seduce the unprepared soul. The same blessing that was meant to serve others can become a snare if self takes the throne. That's why God hides stewardship lessons inside struggle. It builds restraint before release. Do not despise correction. Chosen one, God corrects those He trusts. When you feel conviction about how you spend, speak, or lead, it is not condemnation, it's calibration. The Spirit adjusts your heart like a compass to keep you aligned with heaven's values. Without that alignment, abundance becomes noise. The faithful steward knows that generosity is a form of governance. What you release determines what can remain. Just as the human body must exhale to stay alive, you must give to keep the flow of life active in you. Stewardship is the rhythm of breathing. Receive, release, receive again. Sieve. Chosen one, stewardship is also emotional and spiritual. Guard your thoughts like treasure, because the mind mismanaged becomes the gate of sabotage. Guard your peace like currency, because anxiety wastes energy meant for creation. Guard your words like investments, because speech shapes atmosphere. You are not just responsible for wealth, you are responsible for wisdom. The world glorifies consumption, but the kingdom honors cultivation. You are not called to drain resources, but to develop them. The faithful steward plants trees under whose shade others will rest. Your success is proven not by how much you possess, but by how much your life multiplies goodness in others. To wear the crown of stewardship means learning how to hold abundance lightly. You bless without boasting. You serve without seeking recognition. You build with purity of motive. This is how heaven knows it can trust you with more. When your identity is secure in who you are, not in what you own, then no amount of increase can corrupt you. Chosen one, do not be afraid of responsibility. The greater your calling, the wider your reach, the deeper your accountability. You are being entrusted with influence because heaven knows your heart beats for righteousness. You will handle what others mishandled. You will restore what others wasted. Stewardship also means listening. The wise steward consults heaven before decisions. You don't just ask, "Can I?" You ask, "Should I?" Because permission is not always purpose. You learn to wait for divine timing, knowing that one decision outside of guidance can derail years of preparation. Every day, the crown of stewardship invites you to choose between impulse and insight. The more you practice discernment, the clearer your judgment becomes. The anointing that rests on your life will draw resources, but it is discernment that decides how long they stay. One day you will look at what you've built and realize it was never about money, applause, or recognition. It was about trust. God entrusted you with influence to prove that integrity still has a home on earth. The way you handle what's in your hand becomes a message to heaven. You can trust me with more. Chosen one, continue managing your blessings with grace. Let wisdom guard every increase and humility govern every success. The crown you wear is not just an honor, it's a reminder. You were not made to possess the world, you were made to preserve it. And when you do, heaven calls you not just wealthy, but worthy. Stewardship is worship in action, a silent hymn sung through discipline, generosity, and gratitude. Every wise choice whispers to heaven, "I remember who gave it all." Chosen one. The time has come for you to carry your light into the very heart of the world. The boardrooms, the offices, the streets, the spaces that most forget God can still dwell in. You are no longer called to remain hidden among the few who believe. You are sent among the many who search without knowing what they seek. You are heaven's ambassador to the marketplace, a revivalist disguised as a professional. The world has enough entrepreneurs chasing profit, it needs visionaries carrying presence. Every meeting table can become an altar. Every business decision an act of worship. The way you lead, serve, and ban and speak will preach louder than any sermon. You are the translation of faith into everyday motion, as it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Light does not argue with darkness, it simply shines. That is your calling, not to compete, but to illuminate. When you walk into a room, you shift the atmosphere without even speaking. Heaven's favor moves quietly through you like fragrance filling the air. People may not understand it, but they will feel it. Chosen one. Being a marketplace revivalist means knowing that your work is worship. Every deal, every idea, every handshake becomes sacred when done with integrity. When others chase gain, you chase goodness. When they pursue influence, you pursue impact. This is how you bring revival into reality, by living differently in the same world. You will find yourself surrounded by ambition, by noise, by endless pursuit of more. Yet you will carry peace that cannot be priced. Your excellence will speak of heaven's order. Your kindness will reveal divine strength. You will become a living contradiction to a culture that measures worth in numbers. But remember, light must stay fueled to keep shining. Fire cannot last without breath, and voices of purpose cannot endure without community. That is why these messages exist not as sermons, but as sparks. Sparks that awaken hearts like yours, guiding you back to the source when the world feels too loud. If this word has poured peace into your spirit, if it has rekindled something within you, then let that flame keep traveling. Like this message not as a habit, but as an act of reflection, each click a small flame saying, "This light matters to me." Share it like passing a lantern through a forest trail, guiding another soul through their own night. Subscribe if your heart longs to keep walking with these words, because faith grows in continuity, not coincidence. Every new message is a reminder that you're not walking alone, that somewhere another chosen one reads the same truth and breathes again. And if your heart ever stirs to donate, see it as an act of partnership, not payment. Imagine planting a candle in a storm. It stands not for one person, but for many. Your seed becomes oil for this ongoing flame, ensuring that the light keeps reaching those still lost in shadow. It's not obligation, it's offering. It's not about money, it's about meaning. When you give, you are not funding content. You are fueling courage. You are helping create safe spaces for hearts that no longer know how to hope. Like a gardener tending unseen roots, your generosity nourishes life you may never personally witness, but heaven will. Everything you do from love multiplies beyond logic. A single like becomes a wave of visibility. A single share reaches someone at the edge of surrender. A single gift sustains the message for another day of miracles. This is not a campaign. It is communion souls building light together. Chosen one, your influence in the marketplace will not come from strategy alone, it will come from sincerity. The world has enough noise, it craves authenticity. You are not here to convince, you are here to embody. You are not here to chase status, you are here to channel spirit. When you walk in this revelation, even the simplest action becomes sacred. A smile becomes a sermon. A fair transaction becomes a testimony. The way you honor others becomes prophecy in motion. You are proving that holiness can thrive in the hustle, that grace can bloom in places once considered secular. So go and shine without apology, build without compromise, lead with humility, let your faith be felt, not forced. You are the city on the hill that business and believers alike will look to and say, there is something different there, something divine. And as you carry that light, remember the smallest flame, when shared, can set an entire world aglow. If this word has stirred your heart, let it ripple outward like the sound of rain beginning to awaken a sleeping field. Each act of support, each word spoken, each gift offered is a drop in heaven's river, keeping this current of hope flowing to the ends of the earth. Chosen one, every flame you share becomes a constellation in heaven's sky. Together, our light forms pathways for the lost to find hope again. Proof that giving light never makes your fire dimmer. Chosen one, you have crossed many thresholds, walked through wilderness and waiting, carried light into dark places, and now you are entering the realm called overflow. This is not just the increase of possessions or status. It is the overflowing of peace, wisdom, and divine fulfillment. You have become a vessel so aligned with heaven's rhythm that blessings begin to find you instead of you chasing them. Overflow does not shout. It flows quietly, steadily, like a river that has found its natural path. It does not strain or compete. It simply moves with grace, carrying nourishment wherever it goes. You have reached this place because you allowed faith to do its inner work. The pruning, the discipline, the surrender, all of it has cleared channels for abundance to flow freely through you. As David once wrote in the book of Psalms, chapter 23 on verse 5, You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. These words are not poetic exaggeration. They are spiritual truth. When your life overflows, it means you have learned the secret of divine balance, the ability to receive without greed and to give without fear. You no longer store, you circulate. You are now living proof that when heaven fills a soul, the overflow naturally blesses everything around it. Chosen one. The mark of overflow is serenity. You no longer wake up anxious about what's missing because you are too aware of what's present. Gratitude has become your morning prayer, contentment your evening rest. You do not measure abundance by material possessions, but by peace that cannot be purchased. This is wealth that can't be stolen or diminished, because its source is eternal. Overflow is also purpose in motion. You no longer chase significance, you embody it. The talents that once seemed small now shine as divine instruments. The ideas that once frightened you now serve others with ease. You have become a living conduit of provision and inspiration. What once felt like effort has become expression. But with overflow comes responsibility. The river that overflows its banks brings life, but if neglected, it can destroy. God has trusted you to channel abundance wisely, to use your voice, your influence, your resources for healing, not harm. The more you flow, the more you must listen. The current of blessing must be guided by wisdom, or it can lose direction. Chosen one, your overflow will attract many, some inspired, others envious. Guard your spirit with discernment. Not everyone drawn to your light is sent to sustain it. The same river that nourishes trees also attracts those who wish only to drink without giving. You must love without losing boundaries, help without losing focus. The overflow must remain sacred, not scattered. You have learned that abundance is not a destination. It's a posture. It is living with open hands and a grounded heart. It is knowing that whatever leaves will return in another form. It is confidence in the truth that you can never run out because your source never runs dry. Your overflow will not only bless people, it will change environments. When you walk into a room, clarity will replace confusion. When you speak, peace will hush chaos. You carry a frequency that commands alignment. You no longer just survive miracles. You become one. The abundance in you is not random, it's relational. It flows because you are connected to the source. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit apart from the vine, your success is sustained only through intimacy with the giver. Keep your heart close to heaven, and overflow will remain your natural state. There will come moments when you feel the river within you surge, stretching beyond what you thought possible. Don't fear that expansion, it's heaven's way of enlarging your capacity. The blessing is not breaking you, it's building you. The more you pour out, the more he pours in. Chosen one, the era of scarcity is behind you. You no longer operate from lack, but from love. You no longer ask, "What do I need?" but "What can I give?" You no longer fear running out because you have discovered the secret. God himself is your endless well. And when people ask how you live in such peace, you will smile and say, "Because I stopped chasing the cup and started trusting the source." The overflow you walk in now is not for show, it's for service. Every blessing, every insight, every opportunity you receive is meant to water dry places around you. You are not a reservoir. You are a river. You are not a collector of miracles. You are a carrier of them. Chosen one, breathe in this truth. You are not waiting for abundance. You are the expression of it. Your life, your words, your presence all overflow with the fragrance of grace. Wherever you go, heaven flows. Chosen one, never forget overflow is not a reward. It is a reflection. It mirrors the depth of your surrender. The more you trust, the more heaven pours, until your very life becomes evidence that grace never empties. Chosen one. As the final chapter of this journey unfolds, the truth begins to shine clearer than ever before. You were never chasing wealth. You were uncovering worth. The journey from nothing to abundance was never about material possessions, but about becoming the vessel through which heaven could reveal its nature. You have walked through fire and famine, through silence and surrender, and emerged as living proof that divine purpose turns ashes into crowns. Now you see it, the treasure was never outside you. It was always the transformation happening within. Every challenge carved capacity. Every delay deepened faith. Every loss opened a door to revelation. What you once called struggle, heaven called sculpting. You were being shaped not to hold coins, but to carry calling. You are now walking in a maturity that cannot be faked. Your eyes no longer look for signs, they recognize patterns. You understand that abundance flows naturally where obedience dwells. You have mastered the sacred rhythm of giving and receiving, trusting and releasing, building and blessing. This is the hidden wealth of the chosen piece that cannot be bought, faith that cannot be shaken, joy that cannot be stolen, as it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 20. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Chosen one. These words are not about abandoning the world, but redeeming it. You have learned to handle both heaven and earth in balance, to live in the world but not be owned by it. You build businesses, lead movements, and create beauty not to accumulate, but to demonstrate. Your life has become a sermon of stewardship, proof that true prosperity begins in purity. The journey was never random. Every valley taught you to listen. Every mountain taught you to see. The tears you shed in silence watered the soil of your strength. The battles that bruised you built your boldness. You now carry the fragrance of endurance, the quiet confidence of someone who has seen darkness and refused to bow to it. Chosen one, you have stepped into the dimension of legacy. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It is what lives on through those you touch. It is the ripple effect of obedience, the invisible echo of every act of faith you made when no one was watching. You may never see the full reach of your impact, but heaven does. Every word, every kindness, every moment of truth planted in love continues to grow beyond your lifetime. You have become what the world desperately needs but rarely recognizes: a bridge between heaven and earth. Your success is no longer self-centered, it's service-centered. You speak not to be heard, but to heal. You lead not for control, but for contribution. You prosper not for pride, but for purpose. And now, you can rest, not the rest of idleness, but the rest of assurance. You no longer strive to prove your worth. You know you were chosen before you could even achieve. The anxiety of comparison fades, replaced by the calm of contentment. You walk slower now, but stronger, because you understand timing, trust process, and treasure peace. Chosen one. The story of your abundance is not measured in what you gained, but in what you gave. Heaven writes your legacy in lives, not ledgers. Somewhere, someone's prayer was answered because you obeyed your assignment. Somewhere, someone's hope returned because you spoke light. That is true wealth, the kind that outlasts time. There will still be days of challenge, moments of stretching, seasons of silence, but you no longer fear them. You know that divine cycles repeat only to elevate. What feels like ending is often introduction. Life will continue to unfold in layers of grace, each one revealing deeper purpose and wider reach. When you look back over your journey from nothing to abundance, you will smile at the wisdom of heaven. The closed doors, the long waits, the hidden years, all were necessary. God was not just preparing your path. He was preparing you to walk it with power, humility, and vision. Chosen one, you are not done. You are established. You have become a lighthouse in a restless sea, a living invitation for others to believe again. You will continue to rise, not because of ambition, but because light cannot stay buried. The same hand that lifted you will sustain you. And when your final day on this earth arrives, the echo of your obedience will still move through generations. For though your voice may rest, your impact will continue to speak. Heaven will call your name not for what you earned, but for who you became, a vessel that carried glory well. Rest now, beloved. You have fulfilled your portion. You have learned that wealth is not measured in what fills your hands, but in what overflows from your heart. The billionaire journey was never about gold, it was about God. Chosen one, if these words have walked beside you through the storms, through the silence, through the rising, then you already know this journey was never mine alone, it was ours. Every heartbeat that resonated, every tear that found meaning, every moment you whispered, "This is for me," was proof that heaven was still speaking. If you have felt light stirring again in your chest, I invite you now, not by command but by communion, to let that light ripple outward. Like this message, not as a habit, but as a heartbeat. Each press of your thumb is a spark, another ember of truth sent into a world that desperately needs warmth. Share it as if you were releasing a dove from your hands, letting its wings carry hope into places you may never walk. Someone is scrolling tonight, weary and wordless, waiting for a sign that they are not forgotten. Let your share be that sign. If this space has spoken to your spirit, comment below. Not for applause, but as remembrance, like carving your name in the walls of a sanctuary, quietly saying, "I was here and I was changed." Your words may be the echo that gives another heart the courage to keep believing. Subscribe if your soul desires to keep walking with these revelations. Each message is a step further into purpose, a gentle voice reminding you that destiny still unfolds one faithful choice at a time. And if your heart ever leads you to donate, do it as one plants seeds in sacred soil. You are not giving away, you are growing alongside. Your gift becomes oil for this continual flame, ensuring the light that found you will find another. Chosen one, you owe nothing, but you are invited to everything. The story continues and the world awaits your shine.